My name is Red Pianda, and welcome back to another episode on constructing Ailuria. This is episode 8, and behind us we have the lovely beach coastal shop thingy that we did last episode. Now, as you can see, there has been some changes. I have added the roof fully across. I've also added a ceiling as well as all the details. This is also a big thing. This is going to be a office building. Not quite sure what for yet, but it's going to be quite cool. It's not quite ready yet, but yeah, it's got a nice downstairs thing. There's no lighting in it at the moment, but I'll make sure to add some. But anyways, our focus today is here. So this is our focus. This is actually going to be a shop. So this is going to be a shop on the first floor. And then on these floors, these are going to be flats. So these are going to be apartments, flats, whatever you want to call them. So I think that's a good idea. Let's step in. I've already done the roof with some lighting as well, so we can see. This is going to be the, just imagine this is like a keypad, like, hello, can I please see Mr. Red Pianda in room 2? And then it will open, you can go up here, and then obviously it's a bit empty, but yeah, we can do that. So anyways, what I'm going to try and do is figure out how I want to do this shop floor. Now, preferably what I want to do is I want it to be like a little tiny, one of those shops that you run like as a family. So let's see what we can do. We can do probably something with shelves here. So we could possibly do something similar to this. It's a little bit off center, isn't it? Let's try and fix that. Do that, and then what we can do is we can do this as our sort of counter, back counter, or what we could do actually, which might be better, is do, say, up to there. What we can do is we can add an item frame. Go for a pressure plate for this one. That could be like a cupboard storage thing. And then we'll get a nice, I think it was this one that I used for the till last time, pretty sure, but yeah, we'll do that as a till. We'll get a little tip jar as well, so flower pot could be a tip jar maybe. Pop that on the side. But yeah, let's maybe add it on the roof as well, maybe. Sort of mimicking the sort of layout here. And this time we can just have it as like that, for instance. You can work behind the till, register, whatever you want to call it. So that's that already done. I might just place a pressure plate there for like bagging and things. Alright, let's try and figure out how we want to do these shelves. So let's grab our, we'll do spruce, I feel like might work. Yeah, spruce might work better with this. So what we could do is we could do a shelf here, and then another shelf here. It does leave quite a gap though. If I try stairs, because then we can then place some items, I suppose. Yeah, I'll tell you what, that wouldn't look too bad, I don't think. Anyways, so we'll go 4 across. Actually, no, we'll go 5 across for this one, and make sure the end has at least. We probably want a stock room of sorts. So actually, what I'll do is I'll corner this last bit off. We'll have a staff entrance there most probably. So we probably want somewhere to keep the stock and so control that. So we'll put that there. And right, we'll do that like so. It's got a nice little thing here. What I will do, in fact, is actually just shave it down a little bit so you've got a little bit more room. Let me also see if I can copy this. 2, and then we can have 1 in the middle. There we go. Yeah, something like that. And then obviously we're gonna have to make believe here. These are just gonna have to be shelves. You can't obviously store things on them. I mean, you possibly could, but it's gonna be very difficult to store things on the actual shelves. Yeah, we could possibly add one more. And more back here. Oops. There we go. We could add... Maybe we could do like some sort of... I'll tell you what, let's just add another shelf. Another shelf back here. Not like that. And then what we can do is we can have this as like the sort of freezer section maybe. So the way how I'm going to do this most probably is, what I'll do is I'll do, how do I want to do this actually? Do blue ice, do that, and then what we can do is we can get shelf, put that in front like that, and then we get a piece of white concrete, and then it just sort of does that. I suppose you could act as that as freezers. I suppose just have to kind of imagine it. That is freezers. That's how you get like your ice cream and your whatever you want sort of bit to get to. Oh, they normally have also those little like get a armor stand out, if I can spell it right. There we go, and we'll pop like, say one here, and then maybe one here, and we'll just have like maybe, let's go with a leather cap. You can have things like that, I suppose. Surrounding it, obviously you got the ice here. Just trying to think what else. Probably paintings. I might add some paintings. Make it look a little bit more lively, I suppose. I would preferably like. Can you get a 3x3? You can. Oops. We'll get a doggo. Why not? And behind here, I'm looking for a specific one. There you go. Actually, I might place that one higher. Cap that off. Come on. There we go. We can, oops, we can then sort that out. I suppose we can also add a lantern, I suppose, to the edge of this. Yeah, that'll work. Let's add maybe a few paintings here. Yep. Let's maybe block those off. Yep. And then we'll add... There we go. And, I mean, you can't really do much with a nice little family-run shop, but I believe that should look alright. From out here, yeah, no, that doesn't look too bad. And what we can do is we can use custom heads to place them on the shelves and along the sides here. Obviously we might not be able to do the same here because that's just the limitations we have, unfortunately. Let's do the stock room. So let's go do that. Let's grab another button out. This time it'll be a white button. Open it up. And then what we can do is we can just see what looks like a cardboard box. Probably that. Yeah, they look like good enough cardboard boxes. Just do that. Place some signs around them to make them look a little bit more sort of, I don't know, protected in a way. I don't know what the right word would be for that, but go with it. Like so, and I mean, really what we could do, I suppose, is make some shelves there, and possibly 2 shelves back here. Just a little storage closet for, let's see, all of the stock and warehousing you can buy. But yeah, that's probably going to be the store. That's probably going to be about it. But let's move up to the sort of apartment areas. Now, this is where it's going to get a little bit more difficult because I need to figure out how I want to do this. So we probably want that to be, oh no, we don't want that to be there then. So yeah, the flooring is here for them. So let me mark out the flooring. Let me also mark out the walls. Now the walls might be a different colour. I'm thinking of doing maybe a light blue terracotta as walls. Just to fit that sort of beach vibe in a way. So yeah, let's coat these walls with blue. Obviously we need to fill this in because we can't have gaps. It's just not right. But yeah, how are you guys this day doing? Mine's not doing too bad. Slowly trucking along, getting things done in the big old city of Ailuria. Yeah, at the end of this video, if you want to stay tuned for the end, I'm going to show what the city currently looks like on a dynamic map. So it kind of looks quite cool, to be honest. So yeah, stay tuned for the end, and I'll show you what it currently looks like because you guys probably haven't seen the whole map for a long time. But anyways, let's build these up. Now, some of these apartments won't have windows, like the back here. That's not going to be. I don't think I could even try to fit windows in on it, but who knows? Yeah, so let's now transition to the blue. And then what will happen this time is that will go up to there. This will go across to here. Obviously we need to divide the rooms fairly equally, let's say. So yeah, this would then continue to go up. Up and up. And reach there. I need to think of a way of how I can do this where it's not really... Or I could just do an elevator and have no stairs. Yeah, I'll tell you what, we'll do an elevator. I think an elevator might work a little bit better. It's only going to be a small one. What we can do is we can imagine that this is the elevator. There we go. Okay, that's going to be the elevator door. You can imagine. We'll put some shelves actually over the top here. But yeah, you'll go into the elevator, you'll go up, keep going up. Obviously I need to get rid of some of this so it doesn't look terrible. Then we then change to blue as we keep going up. I don't know if that was... Sorry if it's really dark on your guys' end. Just trying to see... Ah, there we go. So in fact we can actually move this all back to here, so that gives us more space to work with. It's quite nice. Yeah, let's create something like this. Again, imagine the door is open. And then what we can do is we can then bring the ceiling out. Obviously thought that out. So yeah, that's where the elevator is going to come out of. What I'm going to need to do is just make this floor plan real quick before the video ends here. Keep going up, keep going up. What I'll do is I'll place some shroom lights in some of these places just so you guys can see a little bit better. Also, I love the comments on the few latest videos of you guys wanting a London Underground sort of style subway. I'm more than happy to do that. I absolutely love the London Underground. So yeah, I'll be definitely doing that. Yeah, that sounds absolutely amazing. As well as the garden and greenhouse, like, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I might make these actually really expensive apartments. So you've got like sort of kitchen, dining there. Then this can be like bedroom. So let's make this official. So let's do probably bedroom, we'll keep that size. Then bathroom can be tucked back here. And have this as like your little tiny thing. Yeah, I think that will work. So we'll have big apartments there, and then on this side, what I'll have to try and do is try and mimic it. No, I don't know how good this is gonna look. Let's place the lanterns again. Not lanterns, sorry, the shroom lights. And fill in all of this. Sorry, I'm very focused when I do interiors because I don't want to like get them wrong. I want them to be sort of perfect as they can possibly be. So yeah, let's see. So we've got 4 gap space there. How large is the wall going to be? Let's figure that out. This might be a little bit more of a longer episode, just while I'm figuring this out. But I'm sure you guys don't mind the longer episodes. And then, right, so we have the wall coming onto here, and back around, and back around to here. What I'm hoping is that we have enough room. So if I was to do this, say, and kind of end it there, so it'd have 1, 2, 3. Strike that down, that's already got more room. Okay, this one might be a smaller apartment, maybe. Very narrow corridors, but that's what it is. So then, yeah, this one comes out to here. Obviously, that's going to be a bedroom. That's going to be the... And that's what we could do, is alter this one. So we still have the bathroom here, but instead we have the bedroom on this side. So we do something like this, in a way. So we have that sort of setup. So we can still have room for this, still have room for a table, and still got room for a bedroom. I think that might work. Similar layout, I believe. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going across 6. That's going across 6. That's going across 5. So I'll need to move this one out by 1 more. Yep. But yeah, that's going to be that floor plan, and yeah. So let's head back down the elevator. That will be worked on later today. But yes, I suppose I better show you guys the sort of roadmap thing. So yes, I will be right back. Hello, welcome to the OBS side of things. So this is the current sort of map that we've got so far. So as you can see, there's a few outlines. This big thing up here is the highway, motorway, slowly getting built upon. That was obviously the old power station, that's now gone. And then as we go down here, we can see this is the new building, looking very, very nice. We've got the good old Luna Hotel sitting there, and we've got the lovely coastal shop here. Obviously the road will continue to go around the coast, sort of round here. And yeah, but this, I'm hoping to fill all of this in with land. So all of this will be filled in with land, this will be filled in with land. This might be filled in with land curving up, and then we'll keep that like a river going through the city sort of thing. The highway is going to have to make a, what we call a motorized junction. So what will happen is So this motorway will come sort of, it will go down and then back around and join the main road down here. This one will go up and then it will then have to sort of curve round and go up into it. I'll sort it out at some point. But yeah, we can't really curve it. There's going to be a long bridge, that's going to be a long bridge, and it's just too steep of a curve. So I think stopping it there and making it into a sort of dual carriageway maybe sort of thing might be the best idea. But yeah, this is the world map so far, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This has been Red Pianda, and hope to see you again soon. Bye bye!